What's the stupidest thing your school/work banned? Probably Yu-Gi-Oh cards. They were banned because a group of moms made up a rumor that in another unspecified country a kid had died while holding a fiend-type monster, so clearly they were satanic. Years later I learned that one of those moms was my friend's mom and she just didn't want to buy the cards for her son. Back in middle school, we couldn't use fucking backpacks, so we had to lug around huge cassettes and stacks of binders. It sucked. My primary school, age 5 to 11, in the UK banned talking during lunch. Every single child had to eat lunch in a big room, in absolute silence. No talking to friends or socializing allowed. It was pretty insane now I think about it. Back in my high school, they banned water bottles unless they were clear. BC people had been sneaking alcohol into school, but like clear alcoholic drinks are a thing. So it basically did nothing. We weren't allowed to say anything was easy because it might hurt the feelings of kids who didn't think that thing was easy. We weren't allowed to build a snowman because it might fall on you. They suggested we build a snow forest instead, snowballs on the ground 1 meter apart. Nobody built snow forests. 6th graders and only 6th graders weren't allowed to draw outside of assigned art projects. I heard any number of reasons for the ban: gang signs, vandalism, distraction, but never got one for why the ban didn't apply to 5th or 7th graders. My only guess is that one of the 6th grade teachers just really hated seeing children's artwork. The lack of shoes, as in there is an specific rule against it detailing what should and should not be worn in your feet, all this because a friend of mine read the rule book and it only said that students must always come wearing appropriate pants and shirts that do not break the etiquette code. He went to school with shoes and took them off at the entrance for a semester just to piss off the principal. I love that guy. School, remember the whole no yoga pants fiasco of the 2010s? Work, no shirts with political undertones regardless of where you land on the political spectrum. Anything with a snowman on it. Apparently that was code for cocaine. When I was in 6th form, comparison, 12 grades split into 2 years, a lot of people started playing cards, and there was a rumor going around that the head of 6th form was gonna ban cards, so people used to hide them when he walked by, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. We were banned from tying a ponytail or pigtails to school. Girls with medium to long length hair could only tie braids. Otherwise, a discipline mistress would single us out in front of an assembly. LOL. My school banned microwaves. The word fathead. We are not allowed to stay inside. They will lock the doors or force all the kids to sit in the rain, then complain about the muddy shoes. Any talk about Squid Game. My school banned Sharpies. I also had a math teacher that banned the words smart and dumb, but she was allowed to use them. The dab and water bottle flips, when they were popular. Saying Christmas had to be called the current religious festival. And no decorations were allowed. We wanted to plan a vacation with some friends in class, but the teacher got really mad and told us we could only talk about it if we would invite the whole class. Was a friend group of 5 in a class of 40 people. After that we started to talk about planning/going on a vacation every class, even though we didn't plan on doing something. This went on for 2 years. The pizza place I worked at briefly had a rule that you couldn't play games in your phone on break. The rule was so effective that it was done away with before the week was up. Snapchat, they were trying to stop the circulation of videos of our school's fights, which happened at least once a day lol. We had this old geez who I guess in some ways was a slime ball. Can't really remember, but senior classes got a 72-minute lunch on Fridays if the halls were cleaned. We got a new principal next year after the old one retired. It got pushed to 30 minutes lunches. Middle finger, middle finger. During the graduation day in my school they banned cameras, although the principal said we can bring it. Very stupid reason, because if I took pictures of my best friends it could be awesome, but that shit is worse. Hoodies. Trading cards. Because apparently they could used for gambling. Meanwhile, the school had a sort of mandatory sports intramural tournament, which my friend claimed to have run a bookkeeping ring with. Our middle school banned Billabong merch because it said bong. Bottle flipping, when that was a trend in ye olden days, long since forgotten. I don't know why, and it's not like they did a good job telling us about the ban, so my first and only detention I've ever gotten was from flipping a stupid water bottle. That and the fight club that formed in PE, but that's a different story. The freedom to not wear a slave muzzle. A Whole Foods I used to work at banned any hats other than Whole Foods hats, even plain, blank hats were not allowed. They banned regular playing cards under the false pretext that people were gambling, but we were actually just skipping classes to play it. They locked the soda machines until after 11 o'clock at school. Haircuts. We were not allowed to take peppernotin to school. It's a part of the Sinterklaas tradition and kinda stupid when teachers disguised as Sinterklaas went round the classes giving other candy but not peppernotin. They banned hats and hoodies because they didn't want strangers walking onto campus, but we also had zero security. Liquid whiteout because kids were drawing explicit images on desks. I love boobies rubber bracelets. School banned basketball because it's considered competition. Also banned kicking a ball above your knee, but soccer was okay to play. If you kicked the ball above your knee even by accident, you would lose recess for a week. My 8th grade English class was banned from using the word good. IIRC, the rule was made to promote more meaningful adjectives, but the teacher had a weird power trip. Anyone who broke the rule was literally screamed at for 5 minutes. Back when they first started rolling out the smart filter that blocks certain websites, they decided to block the websites that we were learning how to make. Hats on campus, literally you are sent home if you have a hat. Transformers crisps for 10p. Yes, they were 10p when I was at school. Cannon pants. This was because the kids would point at the pants and scream, "Where are your pants?" You couldn't have a drink without eating a suitable meal. I just wanna drink my Dr. Pepper, leave me alone lol. This wasn't something that was really banned, but at lunch if you didn't bring your own lunch but didn't want to eat the nasty school lunch, they'd literally shout at you, "If you don't bring your own lunch and don't eat the school lunch, then you can starve." They always told us this, but after a month or so they stopped, probably due to the fact they'd been telling children to starve if they didn't eat the school food that looked like it was reheated after it was halfway cooked and left out all night. Shorts. Skirts, yes, if they were 3 inches above the knee or longer. But shorts? Nah. Causing kids to be distracted, they claimed. This was in Texas. Cell phones. We literally had a rule prohibiting them, yet we always had guns in and around the office and nothing in the rules prohibiting that. Toilets, all the toilets are locked, usually including break and lunch.